Hello and welcome to this edition of Diaspora Central. I am Gil Ingles, and with me today I have a guest of honor. I am honored to actually have this guest right here in the studio with us because the spotlight today is on the Republic of Angola, and my guest is Her Excellency, the General Consul of the Republic of Angola, Paula Nascimento. Welcome to Diaspora Central Spotlight.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Gil, for inviting me for that interview.
Yes,
I'm really pleased to be here and to be able to pass some information regarding the main issues of our activity in the Consulate of Angola.
Indeed. I believe that Angola is one of the countries that is doing a lot lately for the community, and you, of course, are one of the forces right behind that work being done. I like to start the program always by giving an accolade to my guests because there are things about them that I admire, and I like to make those things public. One of the things that I do admire about you is how dynamic you are. You have come in at one of the most difficult times that I guess the community could ever face, because not only you were facing, I should say, financial difficulties as a country, but also the pandemic was right about to happen, making your work a lot more difficult than it would have been in any other situation. But of course, you still managed to dynamically engage the community, and now you have a working community, and not only a working community, a community with deliverables being met and major accomplishments being done. So for that, I would say thank you on behalf of everyone in the community, and that's my accolade to you.
Yes. I think that COVID, Omicron, or wherever the name we can call it, it's really a pandemic which moved all the world. Moved because the world has, and the country has problems financially, economically. But in Angola specifically, we are dealing with that as we need, having all the people vaccinated, and always talking to them regarding the measures that they need to take according to the health institution. So we got some help from some countries, we got help because some of the countries did some donations in terms of vaccination. But apart from that, Angolan also put, the government of Angola, of course, also put their own point, own dynamic in that process. And we are getting all the people vaccinated in order to stop a little bit the dissemination of that pandemic.
Got you. And that's been accomplished, I guess, in a very positive way, because the number's still pretty low for the country, of course. And even the new variants also seem to have very low impact, which means that the regulations are being followed. But now let's jump a little bit into the diaspora. Of course, most people do know you as someone that serves the government of Angola, but they don't quite really know or understand when is it that you got here into the United States. So tell us a little bit about that. When was it that you were assigned to be the General Consul of the Republic of Angola for the United States here in Houston?
Yes, I was in fact assigned in COVID time.
Right.
I came here in November 2019.
Yes.
And so I've stayed for at least 2 years, and I couldn't even do that much.
Right.
because of COVID.
Right.
But now we are just trying to go ahead and to have our plans a little bit disseminated. We
Right.
are trying to work in what are the main responsibilities, main activities for the consulate. So
Right.
we are in that.
Yeah, and that's part of this program. That's really one of the things that I kind of want to touch a lot on this program, especially for the communities that don't quite understand exactly what a consulate does or what it is supposed to do, right? So let's kind of touch on that a little bit. Some of the responsibilities of the consulate, some of the projects and plans that the consulate have for the communities, not only the Angolan community, but also the diaspora community, of course. Can we touch on some of those?
Yes, our main activity, our main responsibility here as Consul General is to provide to the Angolan community all the services that the community needs. And one of the most important things is to have the Angolan community quite near or approached to the country Angola. Right. We would like to tell that apart from the services, we are here to strengthen the relationship, political, economic, between Angola and United States. We are here to show you the new Angola, which we have right now. We are here to tell you that we are working in order to bring investors to Angola, to have Angola open to the world, to get Angola being known in their aspects of culture, of economic, social,
Gotcha.
Educational, everything we need. We are here to have a very good relationship in order to strengthen those aspects.
All right.
Right now, I don't know if I can pass exactly to the main focus which we have right now at the consulate.
Well, let's actually take a very quick break. Let's take a look at some images of that have been given to us by the government of Angola. Let's pass some of those images that show the new Angola, the Angola that you are talking about, right?
Yes.
So that way, as we go into all these other topics, people at least have an idea of what Angola we are talking about.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a very quick break and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
After oil prices plunged and the government floated its currency, the Kwanza. That's one reason the milling company Webcor plans to invest $250 million in Angola over 5 years, including this new state-of-the-art flour mill, because recent government reforms made foreign investment easier. What has changed in the last 2 years to make the investment climate better?
It's really improving everything here to invest, and we really believe in this new era in Angola. Still having a lot to happen, a lot to come, but we are very, very, very happy with this and very satisfied.
Barbosa gives us a tour of the production from floor to floor. Swiss-made machines shimmy and shake to sift out impurities and put the grain into different categories for different grades of bran or flour. This is the actual milling floor, also fully automated, though monitored by sensors, software, and the staff. The flour is packaged and laser tagged according to the quality of the grain for shipping across Angola and beyond. The mill processes about 1,200 tons of wheat into flour per day, 250 tons of it as bran for export. If it's easier for Webcor, why is Angola still low on World Bank's ease of doing business rankings? Barbosa says Webcor's presence with Grandes Moagens de Angola speaks for itself.
The cost of living is improved, the way to do business here has improved, and the regulations are there to help. And we are really seeing a good future to Angola. the visa are easier, so we can bring better training and better people to help to transfer technology, which acknowledgement to the people that we have.
That includes trainers for lab technicians like Janete Barbosa, who use high-tech instruments to test the flour. An alveograph checks the dough's flexibility by inflating it and makes sure it stands up to company standards.
I received training here in the factory. By working here, I'm learning more about the wheat, about the flour, and I'm growing professionally as a chemist.
That's part of growing the skill set in Angola while diversifying the economy as businesses seize on a changing investment climate. The policies supporting that climate are why the International Monetary Fund is backing Angola.
And we are back. If you have just joined us, you're now tuned into Diaspora Central Spotlight with Gil Ingles, and my guest today is the Consul General of the Republic of Angola, Her Excellency Paula Nascimento. She is here in the studio with us. Excellency, you were telling us about some of the initiatives that and some programs and plans and projects that the consulate currently has at hand. So let's go ahead and touch. You have something which is actually new and should be good news, especially for members of the diaspora.
Yes, yes, I have good news, but before that I would like to tell you that we issue visas.
Okay.
For people to go to Angola.
Right.
We issue visitor visas, working visas, and other types of visa. Okay. So if you need to go to Angola, you can just come to the consulate and bring with you all the documents necessary, and the visa will issue for you. Right. The country is open. Our problem was COVID. Now we're taking care of COVID, so there is any reason for not being people to be allowed to come to Angola. The second new and good news I have is regarding the identification card of the Angolan, because this year in around August this year 2022 we'll have elections, and the Angolans in diaspora will be able to vote in these elections. This is a very important right the citizens of Angola have, and they need to apply.
Register. They need to register
to do the official registration so that they can vote.
Indeed.
And for that, we'll be issuing, we already started the process, and we'll be issuing identification cards, because we'll be through that card that the Angolan community will be able to come and to vote.
Register to vote.
Right. Of course. Right. So I'm here asking the Angolan community so that they come to the consulate, because the official registration has to be done at the consulate. You know, we have a new place for the consulate. It's now at Enclave Parkway. If you go to the website, we'll find addresses and all the information you will need for that. But the official registration will be done in the consulate as well as the vote. So I'm here asking you that please, you should come. You should come to the consulate. You should come to realizar o direito de cidadania.
To do your duty as a citizen,
vote.
Which is to vote.
Yes.
Right. And just to clarify for everyone else, Angola does accept dual citizenship. Yes, Angola accepts dual citizenship. So let's kind of backtrack a little bit, because I want to touch a little bit on the issuance of visas, because that is important, and that's really the primary function of the consulate, correct? Okay, so it's a very easy process. I'll take it. All one would need is basically the passport and pictures. Right, and the biometrics also need to be done. Now, question:
Yes.
Do they need to bring pictures with them, or the pictures are taken on site?
No, they need to bring 2 pictures.
They need to bring 2 pictures.
Two
right.
pictures with them. They need to bring the form, because there are some forms that
they
need to be filled.
Complete, right.
Yes.
Okay.
And you bring your passport, your documentation,
Right.
and you bring also a letter which explains
Your reason for going.
going to Angola.
Right. Now
that's all. And then the money order to pay it.
to pay for the process.
For
okay.
the process,
now,
yeah.
and that information is also available on the website, on the consulate website, correct?
Of course.
Yeah. So now, in regards to the passport, of course, and this is a technical question. If you don't have that information right off the top of your head, it's okay. How close to the expiration can the passport be?
Okay. When the passport is almost 6 months to expirate, in that time,
right.
any consulate will issue a visa if you don't have your passport valid for 6 months.
Okay, so
for 6 months.
So it needs to be at least 6 months
at least
of validation.
6 months validation,
Right.
so that we can issue a visa in that passport. So, if your passport has at least 6-7 months, you should come to validate it.
Got you. And
to validate
and you should get your visa.
Yeah, and you should get your visa.
Okay. Now, let's kind of talk to the process also. You mentioned a reason to go. Let's say, for instance, for the guys who just want to go for entertainment or leisure, vacation. Do they need a letter of invitation from someone, or can they just simply say that I'm going for leisure? And if so, do they need to have the hotel already booked to where they're going to stay? What are some of the requirements? Do they need a financial affidavit that shows that they can sustain themselves in the country while they are there? Talk a little bit to us so that people understand that a little bit.
Yes. If you need a visitor's visa, you will need always a document from someone who is inviting you. To go to the country.
Gotcha.
And apart from that, you will need a book of a hotel, for example, because they'll need to know that you are going exactly to that
to where you're going
place.
to stay.
Yes. So where you're going to stay. You need the letter from the people who is inviting you to come. You need a financial affidavit, maybe.
Yes, stating that you're able to sustain yourself in the country.
We need to know that you will be able to
sustain yourself.
Yes. To sustain yourself over there in Angola. And that's all. And all your documentation, ticket issued, vaccination from COVID.
Right. So you do need the vaccine for COVID.
Yeah.
And also, I believe yellow fever is also a required
Yellow
vaccine,
fever is
correct?
also a requirement.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and take another quick break, and we'll be right back if you just joined us. You're now tuned to Diaspora Central Spotlight, and my guest today is Excellency Ana Paula Nascimento, the Consul General of the Republic of Angola. We'll be right back.
An impressive feat of nature. Here in the Angolan Pass, you can meet local tribes. And for accommodation, eco-lodges and luxury camping or glamping await. Head further inland and you'll find something unique: fertile lands, waterways and wildlife. Cuando-Cubango's rivers flow into the Okavango Delta, one of Earth's last wetland wildernesses. The National Geographic Okavango Wilderness Project team spent years building up a scientific picture of them. For conservationists, Cuando-Cubango is special.
I think I found the spot where I want to stay for the rest of my life. It's just a very tranquil place, and I see a lot of potential in this area for tourism.
Next up, we're heading back to the coast in a thrilling 4x4 adventure. We'll enjoy some cracking scenery with a group of bikers, and we'll finish up in Lubito on a very special train. Angola was made for 4x4s, getting you to special places you may otherwise miss. These enthusiasts ending up where the River Onzu almost meets the ocean.
For anyone who likes nature and doing off-road, Angola is an ideal country, excellent in all aspects.
Exploring on two wheels is also a great way to discover Angola, stopping off at awesome places like the Miraduru Overlook.
It's a country that has an immense coastline.
And we are back. If you have just joined us, you're now tuned into Diaspora Central Spotlight, and my guest today is the Consul General of the Republic of Angola, Excellencia Paula Nascimento. Welcome to Diaspora Central Spotlight. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. So, looks like we have now the ability to travel for Angola, not only for leisure, but also for work. Okay, you just explained to us what the process was for a visitor's visa. Now, let's talk a little bit about the process for a work visa. For instance, and I'll use an example. There are people, for instance, who are part of the Kizomba community in America. They dance Kizomba. They want to learn more about Kizomba Kuduro, about the culture of Angola. They want to go experience that culture in Angola. What visa would they normally apply for? Would that be a work visa? Because some of them, that's what they do for a living. So would that be a work visa or would that be a visitor's visa?
It has to be a visitor's visa.
Okay.
A visitor's visa because they are just going to have the first
cultural
contacts
experience.
and cultural experience
Gotcha.
for at least 30 days.
Right.
And this is the visa for visitors. Work visa is a little bit more complex.
Okay.
Because you need to have the agreement for the enterprise we are going to work in Angola. And usually is that enterprise where you're working in Angola that needs to request that visa for you.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the work visa is not a visa which is given is given from us here at the consulate.
Okay.
We make the process, and the process we send to the Angolan immigration.
Okay, so
and
Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yes, this is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the authorities for immigration.
Okay.
They are the ones who issue that work visa for you. And all that through the enterprise where you are related. So the work visa, it requests you to be working for an enterprise or a company or what kind of work you do for at least 3-4 years.
Okay.
After working for that time, you can be issued an work visa.
Okay. So there is a pre-requirement even prior to being issued a work visa.
Yes.
Okay, which is totally understanding. Now, one of the other things is actually the opportunities for entrepreneurs that do exist currently in the country. Of course, the country is open for investment, and people who want to invest in Angola in different areas. They can do that. So, in your opinion, right now, based on the programs that you are aware of, which programs are currently available and in what areas of investment is Angola currently in the most need of?
So we can have, let's say, Angola is open for investments in the area of agriculture, in the area of fisheries, in the area of mines, in the area of I don't know. You can have projects regarding to culture programs, tourism, so in all those areas, we can invest in Angola.
Right.
They are some exactly enterprise which are being sold.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if this is the exactly term.
Yeah.
And
they've been privatized. They've been
privatizing, and they are searching for
owners,
partners.
Okay, so partners or new owners. So
yes.
Partner owner for partner ownership of specific enterprises. Right, and I take it that these at some point probably used to be state companies that are now being privatized, and they're looking for private.
Of course. And the institution through you have to take the process.
Yes.
You have to take the process.
Yes.
Is IPEX.
Okay, IPEX.
Our agency for export and import products in Angola.
Yes, and I believe that we have actually we have actually interviewed the head of that organization here in this program. It's Mr. Antonio Enriquez. Yes, da Silva. Yes. We do have an interview. So for those of you who actually want to know more about that agency and how to go in and apply for some of those opportunities, there's a program on our channel that you can actually watch. So let's now get on a little bit of a lighter thing. Of course, you are Angolan, born in what city?
I was born in Luanda.
Okay.
In Luanda.
And what is your
capital city?
Capital city of Angola.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what was your favorite? What is your favorite city in Angola, though? If you had your choice to move to any city you wanted in the country, which one would it be?
Yes, I think a very nice place to live is Benguela. We have over there nice places to visit, nice places to go for tourism. We have Namibe.
Okay.
Is also a quiet place. We have also Lubango and Wambo. Wambo is essential, and Lubango are cities where for people, for the foreigners who come to Angola, it doesn't seem to be Africa.
Gotcha.
So the climate over there is quite of an European climate.
Oh, got you. Okay, so a bit different.
So different, yes.
So you highly recommend Wambo.
Wambo,
Gotcha.
yes.
Okay, and that's right in the center of the country also. Pretty much right in the middle. Yeah. Okay. Now, one other question for you regarding Angola. If you had to let's say live anywhere closer to any of the frontiers of the country, which one would that be? And it can be also the ocean. So you can either be close to the ocean or closer to the frontier of any other African country that surrounds Angola. Which frontier would that be and why?
let's say we have the frontier with Namibia.
Namibia, okay.
Because Namibia is a very quiet country and it's nice.
Yeah.
But if you like, how can I say, adrenaline? If you like,
if you like adrenaline,
adrenaline,
if you like,
movement,
excitement,
you know,
excitement,
excitement.
Yeah.
You go to the frontier with the Republic Democratic of Congo, Zaire.
Okay. Right.
We call it Zaire.
Yes.
Over there is in fact a lot of movement.
It's more. It's a lot more active. It's always been one of those very moving areas because of the exchange and the trade and everything else between the two countries.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Now, since we're talking about trade, we know that, of course, I believe it's 2067 when they're trying to revise the Conference of Berlin and remove those divisions placed in Africa.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that from your perspective, and that's just your personal perspective? How do you feel, and do you think that at this point in time that's something good to be done? What are some of the impacts that may create?
You know, at that time, it was only business. People was thinking about business, only that.
Yeah.
But in reality, they separate peoples.
Cultures, right? Yeah.
They separate countries.
Yes.
You know. They separate families.
Yes.
So it was not good at all.
Right.
Not good at all. And nowadays we are just trying to deal with the situation, taking care of frontiers, neighborhoods, which are the same country.
Exactly.
We have that situation with Zambia.
Yeah.
We have that situation also with Zaire, Congo.
Right.
Congo,
Yeah.
because part of Angolan people is living over there in
The
Congo.
other side, right?
Yeah,
and I
on
believe,
the other side.
And I believe that Kunene, also the south of Angola and Namibia, may have the same situation, right?
Has the same situation.
Yeah.
So it was business by that time.
Yeah.
And even though I don't know if it was a very good business, you know, because I thought that Portugal lost a lot.
Indeed. I mean, but we have to understand. Well, we have to understand that they have always been militarily weak. They have always worked for other countries. They never really had their own autonomy, so they would kind of justify that. But let's take another quick break and take a few images now. Let's see if we can get actually, I want to get into something more like artifacts that have to do with Angola and Africa. Maybe we take a few images of that, and then we'll be back in a few more minutes.
Angolan artists
All right,
have a share in it.
Paula is part of the international art scene. She curated the Angolan Pavilion, which won gold at the Venice Biennale. She knows the Angolan art scene very well and what moves her. We visited one of her favourite galleries in Luanda.
It's a young and vibrant scene. You have painters, you have photographers, you have video artists, you have all sorts of media performance. It's a melting pot of ideas.
One of Angola's most famous artists, a pioneer in contemporary art, is preparing a 50 years retrospective here, Antonio Ola. In the middle of the 70s, Angola became independent. Colonialism was the theme of all the young African artists all over the continent.
We are pretty much linked with the idea of oppression in the past, because the colonialism, as you know, provoke a cultural retention, and it was a long process to restore this identity.
History is not forgotten and continues to be a theme in art, but Africa is also part of the globalised world. Art from Africa is recognised as contemporary in content and form.
For years, nobody are interested in African art, but suddenly, in the last decades, we are occupying this empty space, and we are more respected now than we are before.
Today, Angolan artists live and work all over the world. This influences their work and at the same time changes the perception of Africa in the world. Conversely, artists come here to work at the place of their origin. Ayana V. Jackson is an American photographer and artist in residence at Luanda.
And we are back. If you have just joined us, you're now tuned into Diaspora Central Spotlight, and our guest today, of course, is Her Excellency, the Consul General of the Republic of Angola, Ana Paula Nascimento. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a mother, we have a dignitary. Now, was diplomacy always your love? Is that the one thing that you always aspired to be? Is that what you always wanted to be? Was a diplomat?
Yes, to turn up a diplomat because I took the experience of my father.
Okay.
My father was an ambassador, and probably from there I took the good things from diplomacy, to come and work.
Yeah. Now, we also understand that you actually, you're one of the first generations that did serve the Angolan government as a worker for the state, right? And you served as an educator.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And that education bug, I guess, is that something also that you have always had? Is that something that you plan to do? Maybe after you're done with diplomacy, you're going to go back into teaching again, or...
yes, maybe I'll go to teach, or maybe I'll be working with human resources somewhere.
Resources, right? Yes, you also do have a very strong background on human resources.
Yes, on human resources. Yeah. I was, in fact, very related to that.
Right.
Since the beginning. I started working because I was a teacher.
Right.
But anyway, during my time in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I also deal with the people, with the workers at the ministry, trying to solve their problems, trying to identify their problems and to get some solutions for them.
Indeed. So. Now, one of the things that very few people know about you, you also actually you're very fluent in several languages, not just Portuguese and English. You also speak French, and
I speak French. I speak a little bit of Spanish. I lived at least 8 years in Russia.
Okay.
By the time Soviet Union, so I speak.
So you speak Russian,
and Serbo-Croatian because I was living also in Yugoslavia.
Got you. Yes.
Today
similar language, although they
similar language.
Yeah. From Russia, the only thing I think I now remember is Spasiba, Karasho, and Panyatna. But one of the cool things, you also like to dance, and people don't know that. That's actually one of the things.
Yes, I like music.
You like fun.
I like fun.
You like fun. Have you had the opportunity to go to a Kizomba dance around here? One of those promotions?
Not
here? Has
here,
anyone
but
invited you yet?
While I was staying and working at the embassy in Washington D.C., I used to go to the places. But here in Houston, I didn't have the opportunity, but I'm here anytime. If someone invites me to go and visit those places.
I'll make that invitation right now, and I'll post the challenge to all these Kizomba promoters here. Because in Washington, when you used to go, I know that some of those events were actually promoted by me also. And that's why I know that you like to dance. And so that's your spouse, in all honesty. He's very humble about it.
Yes.
He's very humble about it, but it's like he's the he's got that essence of the Angolano that we all know, right? That's those are the guys that we claim to study in our course of style that we call Bangology. right? A bangologia do angolano. It's like there's that essence in which there's a way of being. Because I don't know if you know that here in the United States they say that whenever you see someone dancing with a suit jacket on, is Angolan. Right?
Oh,
because there's just the way that we carry ourselves, and we do it, and always well dressed. We take it as a compliment, in all honesty. So we have to invite you then to a Kizomba event.
Yes,
at some point,
yes, of course.
So that you can join the Kizomba community.
To join the Kizomba community, to talk a little bit with them, to know about their projects, their things. Yes.
Yeah. No, that definitely one of the things.
I'll be very glad to do that.
Yeah, and you also highly involved in the arts, and of course, one of the things that I think, and I'm gonna make the invitation on your behalf, right? And you can just tell them, no, don't do that because Gil is crazy. You actually have very good artwork at the consulate.
At the consulate.
Yeah, that in my opinion, even if you just want to go take a look at some authentic Angolan artifacts, I would suggest that you do visit the consulate for that, because they do have some nice artwork on display out there.
Yes, we have that, but we have plans also. We have plans that with our Ministry of Culture to bring, for example, in terms of
art
exchange,
cultural exchange.
Cultural experience.
Yes.
So we're planning to bring here to the Casa de Angola.
Okay.
Casa de Angola here. It's a house for the Angolan community.
Yes.
And we have plans to bring here, exhibitions.
Gotcha.
The artists which work in that kind of work, artisans. That's what they are called.
Yeah, curators. Yeah.
And just to make some exhibitions over here, just to show what Angola exactly has in that aspect.
Right. Now, one of the things that you have already done, and that in all honesty makes you the dynamic personality that you are, is the fact that you have already, at the end of last year, put together with some of the associations that exist here in Washington, D.C., including Django, which is here in Houston. Am I saying Washington? Yeah, it's a habit.
Django.
Here in Houston, Django, which is one of them. The other one, which is Luanda Houston Sister Cities, right?
Or
Houston Luanda Sister Cities Association, and
Anusba,
right? And then the Casa de Angola, right? You have already put together an event. Actually, a sequence of events. We codenamed the week Angola Week, right?
Angola Week,
in which there was a sequence of events, and you did bring one artist with you, which I guess one of the
Manuel Ventura, Mr. Manuel Ventura.
Yes,
and we expose his exhibition during those events.
Those days, right?
And he went really well.
Yeah,
he went really well because he was able to sell some
of his work.
Right.
And then
his work.
And then the bigger thing is that he actually transcended the audience that he normally would have had. Right now he has an audience also outside of the country that is appreciating his artwork.
Yes.
And now one on a bigger scale, actually, you have also kind of had the opportunity to visit the Pan-African Library. And done some at said institute also, and done some work out there. What was your feeling when you entered that space?
So my feeling was that something good was happening over there, and that that place could be used to bring Africans together. To discuss questions related to Africa culture, and some other things, business, and we can also use the place just to get together,
right?
To get together, because the Africans, the African diaspora, needs to be a little bit approached. Together.
Yeah, it needs to be brought together. So they need so in a Kimbundu term, since you're from Luanda, there would be a Kizomba, right? So maybe this is the good opportunity for you to do the Kizomba invitation for the said library, right?
Yeah.
I'll produce it for you. Okay, we're gonna do a Kizomba get together at the said library. And you're gonna be the person inviting the guests that you want to come, so the Kizomba instructors can come, and you're going to be the highlight of that Kizomba event. Can we do that?
Yes, we can. Of course, we can. We can do that. If it could be able for us to have a show.
Oh, definitely.
A show. Of
the
Kizomba dancers, you know,
from here, from Houston.
From Houston, just to try to get something to show people.
Right, and there would be an opportunity also for you to know who some of those pillars are, because you know that your predecessor actually, which was Dr. Julia Machado, right? She did take part on an event in which you recognized 7 pillars that the city had at the time. So maybe this is now the opportunity for us. Her and Ambassador Agostinho Tavares, right? They did take that. So we started that process. So this may even be the opportunity to probably give continuity to
yes,
that,
of course.
right?
And
I think that it will be beneficial also for them to, and I mean the Kizomba community, to actually get to know you, right? Especially the instructors or those pillars and those individuals.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So
I'm here. I'll be open to that.
We'll
just contact us with wherever you think it's possible.
Indeed, I will let said know to reserve a day in which we are going to do the Kizomba day, and on that day we're gonna get the African community out there to have a Kizomba, right? Our way, right? So we kind of try to take it back to those days of contribute sound. Does that sound good, right? So it'll be like a contribution. Everybody will contribute whatever they can, and they'll bring it in, and we all just have a good time, have a good Kizomba, a good Kizomba.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, on the real sense of Kizomba, not just Kizomba the dance, but Kizomba.
Kizomba to get together.
Right. Yeah. The real meaning of Kizomba.
Kizomba, yes.
Let's see. I hope you don't mind me being that crazy, but that's just the way Diaspora Central is. We're really here just to have fun and to make sure that we share.
It's good because we need need to relax sometimes.
Indeed.
You know.
Indeed.
Life can't be only work, only politics, only business.
Right.
Yeah, we need to relax a little bit.
Indeed.
And so you are the right person to do that.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you right now, I think that's the reason why I stayed this young, right? Because most of the time when I tell people my age, they don't believe me, and which is good also, but I don't know how good it is because everybody thinks that I'm still a kid, right?
Yeah.
but it's fun though. I do thank you for sharing these few minutes with us. Of course, it's been it's kind of, I know that you are a very busy person, but is there anything that you would like to share that we did not touch? Is there anyone that you would like to thank or anything before we close the program?
No, we would like just to thank the Angolan associations. You've been talking of NUSBA, of Casa d'Angola, of Sister City associations. I would like to thank them for the collaboration because our work in the consulates leads us to deal with the community, and the Angolan community are in those associations.
Indeed.
They are the Angolan community.
Indeed.
So I'll thank you very much for them, for the collaboration, and just tell them that the consulate is here.
Okay.
The consulate is here for the community.
Right.
Anything, any help, any talks will be really open and just, glad to be with the Angolan community.
Indeed. And this is not just for Angolans, also for friends of Angola, right?
Yeah, also for friends of Angola.
Indeed,
the Africans we've been talking about, I think, is also
included in there.
Africans,
and the Americans also.
And the Americans also,
because we do have friends. Now, before I go, of course, and there is something that I was about to forget. You forgot to mention Django when you mentioned the association. So I just wanted to know,
Django is
also,
always
which
there.
is the actual community of Angolans in the region. Okay. But looks like the invitation is made, and the challenge is put forth. I will talk to Mr. Debo to make sure that he can put together this Kizomba.
We'll try. We'll try to
we will do it. We'll make it happen. When do you think would be a good time to have it? April or March is coming up.
March is coming up.
April,
maybe April.
April. Yeah.
Maybe April.
Maybe we close. Maybe we close April, the month of April, with something like that. Right? Because that's
at the end of April.
At the end of April. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So then we'll try to maybe plan the last Saturday of April if there's nothing going on at that library. We'll make that the day in which that evening. The Kizomba evening.
The Kizomba evening.
Now, and this is just so we know, because you know that those who really like to party, they want to know already, how long are we making this party for? Are we just gonna go until 2:00 in the morning and stop, or are we going until 6:00 and then they're going for the caldo? Because you know that they want to know.
This is a tradition. This is a tradition, but. I think that we have restrictions.
Yeah,
we have COVID,
right.
And probably we have to wait a little bit.
So we'll try to restrict a little bit. We hold it back.
Of course.
Right. Okay. I like that. I like that. But you know they're gonna push it. They're gonna push it until 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Excellency, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for being here with us. Any information, of course, you can always visit the website of the General Consulate. Yes, and do you know what the website is right off the top of your head?
The website is Angola Consulate TX.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
TX. So Angola Consulate TX.org, and TX for Texas. Right. And of course, they can also reach that website if they go to the embassy website, which is angola.org.
Yes.
Correct? Yes. There's also a link at that website that can allow them to reach the consulate. And regardless of what region you are, and actually before we go, let's talk a little bit about the regions, because sometimes people don't quite understand what the regions are, right? So you are responsible for the southern region and the west region of the U.S.
Yeah.
Right? For people who are in the mid-Atlantic region, they would go to the consulate sector at Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C., of course.
Right. And for the people in the northeast and Canada, they would go to New York.
To the Consulate of Angola in New York.
In New York City. Okay. All right.
In New York City.
All right. So your jurisdiction does not have any Canadian states at all reporting to you. Okay, they all go to New York City.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that is good to know, because now they can understand the jurisdiction, because sometimes it gets confusing. They don't know. And that information is also available on the website.
Yes, on the website. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's been an honor. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gil.
Yes. Any questions that you would like to ask me? And you are the first person that's a good thing, because that's a good thing, because that means that everything about me has been told, and that you know.
We've been talking. We are just waiting for you anytime for anything you need at the consulate.
Thank you very much.
To talk and to be there.
Definitely will be there. We need to get the ID card done. We need to get the ID card done. We need to get the voter registration done.
Official registration, and then the big day.
Yes.
No, big day to come and vote.
To vote. Yeah. So definitely, after we register, we're gonna go and vote.
Yeah.
That's a sacred right. But before then, of course, there's the Kizomba part. That's the part that I really like the most. All right, and for all those of you that have joined us on this 1 hour, we appreciate the time that you've actually taken to share with us, and it's been a definitely good journey. You know, I'm very appreciative of your time, very appreciative of the service that you have given to the country. And continue, stay that way, stay happy, because one thing is for sure, remember what she said, it's not always all about work, it's also about fun. So remember, when you think Angola, think Kizomba, and not only that, think prosperity, because afterwards, there's a lot of good things happening in Angola. And some of the images that you are looking at, these are the images of the Angola that we like to show and that we would like the world to know that exists. So until next time, I've been your host, Gil Ingles. This has been Diaspora Spotlight. Peace.
Here in Angola, much more than a style of music, Kuduro is a state of mind that originated in the street to conquer the rest of the country and now the world. Welcome to this new edition of Explore Angola, where we discover Kuduro with none other than its creator himself. Tony Amado enjoys star status here in the neighborhoods of Luanda. To understand what's behind the Kuduro craze, over the course of a weekend, he takes us to the suburbs where this typically Angolan style of dance and music blossomed in the 90s. Here in Sambizanga, Tony Amado is creating quite a stir. And everyone wants to impress him. Tony, what does Kuduro really mean?
I was inspired by a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he's doing that drunken scene and then this and then this, and then I made the music, Kuduro. And that turned into a project where we invited other people to participate, and then the project grew. Kuduro artists are mostly people from the suburbs who sing Kuduro to elevate themselves socially.
In another area of the capital, Sangofor, same enthusiasm. Everyone wants to show us their own interpretation of Kuduro. Because Kuduro is more than a dance and a style of music. As we're told here, it's a way of life. As night falls, we head to the Rangel district to meet the next Kuduro generation, young artists like Carly Terra.